All right, all right, all right, all right. Shalom, shalom, and shalom. Sister Deborah coming with an awesome message this evening. And we're going to cover Alpha and Omega. We're going to cover Alpha and Omega. I believe we missed a great deal of the beginning, which one would say he is Alpha, meaning the beginning, and Omega is the end. But I believe we have missed, not only did we miss Alpha, we missed Omega. And we're going to miss it. Why? Because we didn't understand when it says he's the beginning and the end. We failed to really grip what was this beginning and what is the end. Why? We were more so in tune with the traditions of man. We were caught up in the teaching of the flesh of men and not understanding that he that created all things is a spirit. Mhm. And we were supposed to get a grip of him as a spirit. And we failed to do just that. We didn't grip his power. We didn't grip his identity. He is feminine and masculine. We didn't grip his right hand. We didn't grip him even creating his beloved son out of himself. We didn't understand nor accept the spiritual realm itself, not under, like the young man told me, flesh is first and then spirit. When he said that instant, I was about to chew him in and out and spit him out. But when he said that, the spirit said, see, I told you. He when the spirit said, see, I told you, I'm telling you, because I just turned and act like I didn't even see him, let him just talk, paid him no attention. Because people, everything was once spiritual. No one wants to give that glory to a creator that is not human. They got to give the glory to the flesh. They cannot see him being a creator that is a spiritual being with all power, all knowing, and created all of us. They won't see him that way. They will not accept him that way. And many of them today is now wanting to even claim that they are gods, in a way that they are like unto him. And they fail to realize that you can be gods just like all these other false gods and all these pagan gods. Yeah, you can be that. So yeah, you can be gods, but they didn't understand what that really represent when they wanted to use the word gods. They didn't understand a mini-me of a spirit. I have a spirit like unto his spirit. So I'm a mini-me of his spirit. So if he is the God, then I am God. We are gods as mini-me's. But they didn't just take the ideal of we are gods. They wanted the power therein as well. See, that's why I was saying it's all messed up, even with Judah, the melanated people. That's why I know that they are never, and it told you that they're slowful and they stoop down right now because they would never grip the fact that they overstepped their boundaries and didn't keep up with the light nor spirit and truth. Everything now 99.9 is teaching is trying to teach you in the category of the flesh. That's why I, Sister Deborah, can say unto you, they miss the beginning. The ball was dropped in the beginning and no one picked it up. They didn't go back to pick it up. So therefore, they don't know a rat's behind about the beginning. You see? So when they say in Revelation chapter 1 and verse 8, it says, I am. Ahaya is the beginning and the end. Here it says Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end. The sad story is you never knew the beginning. So I, Sister Deborah, want to really step into you regarding the end, but I realized, but if they didn't know to get the beginning, they wasn't supposed to get the end. Because I wanted to just go over some things to show you how far from the beginning we have lived in, thinking we knew what the beginning was and what it was consist of, and we never knew. Let me stop saying they never knew. So when you hear people quoting it, you always hear the pastors, the bishops, the priests, people who be ministering and teaching. They think they can just swing. Oh, he's the beginning and the end. He's the Alpha and Omega. Just imagine being that and they don't know what that is or was. What does it mean, the beginning? And really, what does it mean, the end? When I look at the beginning, I see one that is spirit. I see all power. I see one all knowing, one that created all things, one that orchestrated the heavens and the earth to go in on his will. I see all of this is what he is, but what he was. We today only know what he is based on, they today know what he is because they still caught up in man's tradition. They think the only one can tell them about this unseen creative Yah is based on what man says, not wanting to accept the spiritual realm. Right here today in the year 2026, no one wants to step in the spirit realm to get the fullness of truth. They ain't going. They don't play that. They don't want to go into that realm. And you know what? I don't blame them because the realm don't want them either. So the realm don't want you either. That's why it's not residing in you. That's why you on all these devil platforms teaching and preaching. All the individual is without light. So you dealing with darkness. So you see. So even if you didn't, if you did wanted to step in the realm of the spirit of the realm of the spirit don't want to step in you. So that's leaving you where? On the outside to deal with what? Those that's in the dark. Okay. So this is another reason why they don't want to teach spirit and truth. They don't want to reveal the light of the Most High Yah. It's because they are comfortable with you all running to them, seeking darkness. Why? Because people want that flesh satisfied. That's just it. That flesh got to get what it needs. So when he talks about I am the beginning and the end, you have to understand the beginning to really understand why is he saying the beginning and the end. It's saying a powerful thing. Y'all, it is like a weapon in what he is saying. The beginning, everything I created, I'm going to, at the end, destroy it. With the same right hand that I created. It's the same right hand I shall destroy. When? I created it in the beginning, and I got it set up to end with my power of my right hand, which no one ever knew nothing about, that created all things in the beginning. See, I told you didn't know what the beginning was. See, 99.9 had no idea what was a right hand. What was a stretched out arm? I'm telling you all have missed everything from the beginning. And he said it. He said, Deborah, if they miss Genesis 1 and give or take 2 and 3, but if you miss it, you done missed the whole book. And not the King James book, okay? But the book, the truth, okay? The King James, you missed it. Him being the beginning, you missed it because that's not him. You took the book and you made it him. He is the word. The books are words. You see? So it's a lot missing in the beginning, but we quick to sling that word when he's Alpha and Omega. He's the beginning and the end, and have no idea of what that beginning was and what that end is going to be. The end is coming with great fierce. The end is coming with that same power that was present in the beginning that created all things. That same right hand stretched out arm is going to destroy all things in the end. You see what I'm saying? So when they say in the beginning and the end, they have no idea of the architect and how and why is he being saying the beginning and the end. I am Alpha and Omega. It's because he wants you to know this is who I was in the beginning, and that same right hand that created everything in the beginning is going to be the same right hand to destroy everything in the end. So you got the beginning to start and the end is to destroy. Okay? So when you're teaching he's the beginning and the end, and you think it's just a comfortable way of saying something to make someone think that you know that he's the beginning and the end, pull up that bad boy, define the beginning, define that end of who he said he is. If you can, which I don't think you can, so I ain't even look for it. You see? But so many people are being taught so much, and they so in tune with all the darkness to where they ain't looking for a pin needle of no light. But yet they in these places of worship and teaching on these devil platforms and they have no idea. This is another reason why I sit back and I think about how he taught me as a young person what took place before the foundation of the world. That holds the beginning and the end as well. You see what I'm saying? So when people are talking to you about when he's this, he this, you know what he was. I mean, you know what he is based on what you've been told from the tradition. But you first got to know who he was. And that's going back to Revelation chapter 1, verse 8. I am. Ahia is Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end. You see, it's going right back to who he is. But you have to understand when you're slinging them two words, beginning and the end, there got to come power, because that's what's happening. The beginning was created with power, that right hand and stretched out arm. As the word spoke, the power brought forth. The word is going to speak at the end, and the power going to bring destruction and destroy. Same power in the beginning is going to throw down in the end. Okay? So you running around here thinking that the beginning and the end, he's Alpha and Omega, and they just sing songs about it. They speak it, so especially pastors, they speak it like it's just something they didn't master and don't even have the revelation of the beginning nor the revelation of the end. 99.9 know what he is, because they just figure everything he done when they came on the scene. People think that the Most High only who he is when they come to the knowledge of who they think that he is, or when they come to join an organization or a church or a place of worship or this YouTube. They think that the Father started then. So this is what people teach. And this is what people receive. Who he is. Not understanding. No, he was before he is. And if you don't know who he was, then that's that beginning. You see what I'm saying? So how is you calling the Alpha and Omega in what is? And you don't even know what was. Because what was the beginning. Pull that thing up and land that bad boy down if you can. They can't. You see? So I just think of how many things that's going to take place at the end. And this is the reason why no one fears, has any level of fear outside of, I believe, the elites, those who building them tunnels and all that. They doing it out of fear. They know the power of Yah. While y'all on the earth clowning and acting a fool with all this race mess and all this abomination and witchcraft and Satanism and pedophile and homosexual and just destroying your women and destroying your kids and just destroying everything in front of you, on every side of you, and think that's what it's about. When the elites are shaking in their boots for quite some time, making sure they think they're going to prepare to live forever. And you out here clowning and acting a fool worse than they are. Because every wicked and evil they're doing, guess what? You all are just the enemies of them doing the same thing. For sure. We can't say nothing about Epstein when all this stuff is in the family. The same old trash is in the family. How can you say something? It's just too much wickedness all over in the family, everywhere you go. It starts right in the family. That has been fully denied and escaped. You know how many people have been wounded from their household, from grandpa to uncle to daddy? No, y'all don't want that. That's what you call the light. You don't want that sort of stuff. That stuff been going on since the beginning. And that's how it has survived all the way to this day. How do you think homosexuals survived? It was in the beginning. You see, no one wants to talk the truth of what the beginning represents. Because it'll tell on you today where you living and what is in this day. But y'all want to sing songs to these people in a way that they are deceived. Not giving them the fullness of the beginning and the end as Alpha and Omega. This stuff, everything, that's why Solomon said there's nothing new under the sun. Hit it to him, Deborah, again. There's nothing new under the sun. And because you didn't understand what he meant then, you still don't know what he mean now. It ain't nothing new. That's how the elites prepare themselves. Underground, a whole new world, you guys. Years of working because of the fear they have of the one that you are fearless. Because you don't think he has any reason for you to fear him. But they fearing him. Because they know already. You think they building them bunkers and putting all the water everywhere? Those machines that they're building, them AI, they calling it AI centers, all of it's a lie. It's to take your water, take everything from you. Donald Trump was brought to the forefront to bring the country down. And the people here, they think this is about Republicans and Democrats making America great because they are able to take the lives of Black people. That's y'all don't know. That's really what they excited about. We're able to go back and start killing them. That's what they're excited about. And that's why I said when people don't stand against it, they stand for it. But if they don't stand against it, they stand for it. And standing against it don't mean silent. Voice it out what it is. Call it what it is. Because y'all say if it's not what it is, you can't call it out because it's still in you. The ways of this world still rest in you. That's why you can't call it out. That's why one can't own that thing. What do you mean own it? Own truth. Own the things that are righteous. No one wants to stand in that category. But yet they can go out here and say, oh, it's Alpha and Omega. It's the beginning and the end, and have no idea what Alpha and Omega really stand for. Building, creating, and destroy. with the same right hand that built it. It's going to be the same right hand that destroyed. And the way he's doing it is in the category of the beginning. And now we have entered into the end. You think that he created this at the end, where there's in this day for tribulation, perilous time, men heart shall fail them. See, we're going into a destruction of the right hand of Yah. You see, this is what you call the end. So when you get to Joel, let's go to Joel, so I can kind of show you what I'm talking about. In Joel chapter 2. In Joel chapter 2, it says, blow ye the trumpet in Zion, and sound an alarm in my holy mountain, and let the inhabitants of the land tremble. For the day of Yah cometh for it is nigh at hand. That's the end. That's the Omega. Y'all running your mouth, but you ain't backing that thing up. How you gonna call in the end and call it Omega without bringing the definition of why is it the end? Why is it called Omega and the end? Pull that bad boy up. They won't do it. They won't do it. So what happened in verse 2? It says, a day of darkness and of gloominess, a day of clouds and thick darkness, as the morning spreads upon the mountains, a great people and a strong that has not been ever the like, neither shall be any more after it, even to the years of many generations. Never will it ever be what the end is going to be, what has never been. See what I'm saying, y'all? You think the days of Noah and the days of Lot gonna outride this one? No. That's what you call the real end. You remember when he ended the world with the flood? That ain't got nothing on this one here. Oh, yeah. That's the real Omega. That's what you call the real end. See, y'all want to pull up the beginning and the end. Define his beginning, define his end. Pull it up, teach it, preach it. They won't do it. So then you go to Joel, same chapter 2 and verse 31. In Joel chapter 2 and verse 31, it says, the sun shall be turned into darkness and the moon into blood before the great and terrible day of Yah come. Y'all better, y'all go on and play. You want to talk about Omega. You want to talk about the end. This is what he's bringing to the focus of what the end defines. From the kingdom, you guys. This is the end from the kingdom. Not from the way man tradition has taught you all. And from the way you know the end is. Sister Deborah telling you the end is fierce. Like no other. Now watch this here. Here in Joel chapter 2 and verse 31, the sun shall be turned into darkness and the moon into blood before the great and terrible day of who? Yah. Now let's go to no. Let's go to Isaiah. Let me go to Isaiah. In the book of Isaiah chapter 13. Let's go to Isaiah right quick. See what Isaiah is going to tell us. These people are telling y'all and warning y'all about what the end is, but you ain't gonna get not one person on this devil platform. You ain't gonna get no pastor, no bishop, no apostle, no priest, no pope, no evangelist, no teacher, no prophetess, no prophet, no Maureen, no seers, no watchman tell you or break down the end. Because they don't want to bring that to you all. They want you to be deceived from the time you come from your mother's womb to the time you go out. That's what this world is all about. Not giving you nothing but the deception. From the time you come in to the time you go out. Look at how many people think that when they mother have a child and they get pregnant, oh, this is the God's doing, or God in them, and David broke that thing down and explained to us. Flesh is sin, you guys. Everything done in the flesh is sin. That's why we are born in iniquity. And the sin of the flesh, having sexual contact with flesh, is sin, because it's connected to the flesh. It's when that child comes to the word, take that breath of what Yah gives him, cause him to have his own spirit where Yah might abide in him. He might be the spiritual seed. He might be the serpent seed. But before he the spiritual seed or the serpent seed, what is he? Flesh. And flesh is what? Sin. You see how they lie? You see how, remember he said to be born is to cry, to die. No, is to rejoice. Born, because you're born in iniquity. You're born of sin. That's why you hooping and hollering and crying. You need to cry. Child is born of a few days, but what? Full of trouble, because he's born in the world. He came into the flesh. What Yah blows into his flesh and give him his spirit, not his spirit, but an image like unto him, which is a spirit. He's giving him the breath, the truth, and a spirit, image like unto his. A spirit, not his spirit, but an image like unto his, a spirit, where the child can have his own spirit. But what did he tell him? He's full of trouble. Few days, he's full of trouble already, y'all. And nobody ever teaches and preaches. This was the beginning. You see, everybody take everything and make it all beautiful. And because this is man's tradition, is to make you not see the end, the beginning, because you ain't, he makes you not see the end because you too ignorant to see the beginning. You don't know what the beginning was really about. So therefore, you didn't know what the beginning was about. You definitely ain't gonna know what the end is. It's going to be about. Right before us is what you see in today. Okay, so when you get to Isaiah chapter 13 and verse 9, in Isaiah, now you're going to notice all these prophets is saying this. That's why I try to tell you in Revelation chapter 10, he tell you until a prophet, the mystery is given to the prophets. It's not given to a pastor, a bishop, apostle, priest. It's not given to them. It's given to the prophets. And it's not the prophets of man. It's the prophets of Yah. And even most 99.9 don't know the difference. Isaiah chapter 13 and verse 9, and it reads, Behold, the day of Yah cometh cruel, both with wrath and fierce anger, to lay the land desolate, and he shall destroy the sinners thereof out of it. This is the end, you guys. You get what I'm saying? So when you run in your mouth talking about Alpha and Omega, that Omega means the end of all creation and destruction. Y'all gonna bring everything down with his fierce, his anger, and his wrath. He's gonna destroy everything his right hand created in the beginning. He's gonna destroy at the end. You see how sad it is? People would never preach that in a place where million people would be. They wouldn't teach him the truth. Okay, so this is what he called bringing the light out of the darkness, Deborah. So there go Isaiah. He's told it to Amos, Joel, Daniel. Let's go down to Malachi. Let's see what Malachi is saying here. He's telling throughout all the books of your study guide. He's saying it in a way that you can get it through the Holy Spirit. Now you have to be able to hear the Spirit teach it to you. And it's in also Zacharias, but I'm just gonna go here to Malachi. Let me see if I can go here. Malachi. Oh, did I forget what my verse is? I sure did. Oh my goodness. Okay, now let me just check it out. Malachi. Oh, what did I do? Oh, here it is. I had that thing wrote down and I do not see it. Now, here you go. Malachi chapter 4 And verse 5, behold, I will send Elijah the prophet before the coming of the great and dreadful day of Yah. So Elijah coming before, because he gonna cut up at the end. Listen to what he said before. Malachi chapter 4 and verse 5. Behold, I will send Elijah the prophet before the coming of the great and dreadful day of Yah. See, y'all, I'm telling you, it's a sad thing that people have been so deceived, even to this point of me sitting here giving this message about the beginning and the end, wanting you to understand the same one created everything with the right hand and the power and by his word in the beginning is the same one going to destroy everything by the right hand, the power of his word. Okay. So when you running around here, say the beginning and the end, check, you need to be checked, because you don't know really what that beginning is. You haven't learned what it is because they never taught y'all what was the beginning. Okay. They didn't tell you who he is in a way of who he was. So you never knew the beginning. You only know what he is. You don't know who he was. See, who he was the beginning. Who he is for those who lost. Okay. So that's the difference from the beginning. And the end is not something to be sitting around quoting without understanding. It's coming for destruction, fierce, anger, power, destroying, killing, destroying, killing, destroying. So it ain't no sense of you swinging. Oh, he's the beginning and the end, Alpha and Omega. And then you don't even know what that really means in the spirit of understanding. You get what I'm saying? So then we get to Ezekiel chapter 39, and it talks about Gog and Magog. You get to Revelation, and that end, and he talks about how he's going to destroy. All the way to Revelations, telling you how he's going to destroy. You go into Revelation, it start in, I think in 6, and it goes all the way to the end. To everything is destroyed. That's the end, y'all. So you see how people really don't understand? Oh, he Alpha and Omega. Understand, what do the end mean? What is it speaking about in the spirit realm of what understanding, what it means to say he's Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end. Understand the beginning, understand the end. You know what? Many gonna come and go. That was found in Revelation chapter 1 and verse 8, where it tells you, Revelation chapter 1 and verse 8, I am Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end. And I say unto you, understand, which you can't have. Understanding is not something for you to understand without Yah being in you. He's the understanding. He's the one to give you all understanding, and for him to give that to you, he has to be in you. Okay, so I can't tell you to understand, and knowing that he that is greater is all understanding. If he's not in you, you ain't gonna get understanding, and you know what? You ain't gonna get the beginning, and you ain't gonna get the end. Hello. So Sister Deborah say, all through Revelation, he's telling you what he's doing in the end. It's called the end. So you never will hear them teach it in that order of trying to let you know really what the beginning represent and what the end. But I did not, and I would not expect them to be able to have the spirit of truth and the light to be able to teach the beginning and the end as Alpha and Omega. I couldn't. You know why? Because it's not something that Sister Deborah can come teach without the Holy Spirit, giving it to me too, because it's pretty much over. It's finished. Okay. Many things you're not going to learn is when you didn't learn because you chose to take all this living. Like I say, 400 years messed up. 400 years gone down the drain. But don't Don't estimate that the Father did not know it would turn out the way that it did. But like I said, he's the beginning and the end. He's the Alpha and Omega. So I know he's going to end everything he started. Okay. And then there go the kingdom. So Sister Deborah, I hope you got something out of it. And I will be back, and I say unto you, shalom and shalom.